Welcome back to 10 News Conference. Our guest this morning is Republican Brendan Doherty, running for Congress in the 1st District. In the last segment we were talking, you mentioned Obamacare. So are you in favor of Obamacare?
No, I think that, first of all, we need to repeal Obamacare, in my view. Why? Obamacare is nothing right now, nothing but an impediment of job growth. Every business I go to, these are job growers, the owners of the businesses are afraid of Obamacare and what the impediment to their growth. So, you know, there are some pieces of Obamacare that you know, are good for starting points, but we need a bipartisan solution to that, to health care. We know we have the best health care program, we have the best health care doctors and hospitals in the world. But it comes down to delivery of services, it comes down to quality, and then it comes down to cost and what's driving the cost. So we need to identify what's driving the cost of our health care. But you know, when we talk about the little issues with Obamacare, they never addressed the cost of Obamacare. That is going to be just added to our deficit.
But there's 30 million Americans that still don't have health coverage. And this would tend to solve a good portion of that, not all of it, but a good portion. What would you do? How would you get these 30 million Americans onto an affordable health care plan?
I think we need, first of all, that was a partisan...
But everything in Washington is partisan.
Well, it would be nice if we had some bipartisan solutions and we could sit down at the table and bring healthcare professionals in and doctors and business owners to sit at the table and come up with a common sense solution how to approach this. Because we do want to provide healthcare to everyone, but we don't want it to cost what Obamacare is going to cost. These figures...
Well, what's your idea? How would you do it?
I'll tell you what, it's just going to add to our deficit. And how long can we continue this deficit?
Well, what kind of legislation would you introduce to get these 30 million people some health coverage?
You know, the deficit pushes our debt, and we're just pushing it along for other generations. Again, I'd sit down, you know, I don't have all the answers as to how to fix health care right now, and anybody that tells you they do is being intellectually dishonest. We need another commission to sit down and come up with a bipartisan solution as to how to fix it, because we need electronic medical records, we need standardized testing. There are a lot of things we can do for healthcare to help manage it more efficiently.
You've mentioned the word bipartisan 2 or 3 times already during this interview, yet on the front page of your website, your quote about yourself is, "Equivocation and appeasement are not in my dictionary. I will do the right thing and stand by my guiding principles." That sounds like gridlock to a lot of people.
No, I'm referring to the waste and the fraud in government and the way government is run. Listen, this is the greatest country in the world, but Washington's broken. We have people that can't work together. We have lobbyists infiltrating Washington, and the way a government works with, there's some corruption in government, and that's something I'm going to shine a light on. So that's what I'm referring to there. Appeasement is not within my dictionary, because I'm not going to have lobbyists come over to influence what I'm going to do. I'm my own man. I'm not going to Washington to be part of the good old boy network. That's just not going to happen. I've stood up for doing the right thing my entire career. And, you know, when I travel through the 1st District, talking to business owners, talking to people in coffee shops. I was in a coffee shop yesterday and spoke to a man who's about 85 years old. And it was sad listening to him, because he said, I'm glad I was born when I was, because I don't want to see the rest of this. And I said, well, you know, we're going to fix America. We can fix America. And he said, good luck. Well, I think it takes people like myself, a strong voice in Washington, to try and bring people together to find common sense solutions to what we need. Any bill that comes before us. Look, we should be in an energy revolution right now. We're not. This administration passed on the Keystone Pipeline 1,700 miles of American jobs lay in the pipeline.
But Obama said yesterday in a speech that we are drilling now, under his administration, more than we have in the past 8 years in America.
On private land. But with all due respect to the president, he's not telling you about the federal land. What the drilling we could, and what we can accomplish on federal lands. We should be in an energy revolution. We have plenty of untapped oil lines in the Outer Continental Shelf, in the shales of America. Energy connected with our infrastructure. Look at our bridges are falling down, our roads are crumbling. We need to connect energy with our infrastructure. There's a fellow by the name of Harold Hamm up in, he's an entrepreneur up in North Dakota. They have a 3.3% unemployment rate in North Dakota. Right. By his estimates, we could create $18 trillion in revenue. The federal government could, by allowing these onerous regulations, cutting these regulations, letting American businesses do jobs to grow American jobs. And it's not just there. Back to taxation. If we can grow jobs through taxation, energy, fix our health care, look at the onerous regulations, cut them one at a time,
you said
we'll grow jobs.
You said in the beginning that you're in favor of the 23 states that have right to work, that are so-called right-to-work states. Is that correct? Are you in favor of right-to-work
I didn't say I'm in favor of the 23 states that have right to work.
Are you in favor of right-to-work laws?
Well, first of all, it's a state issue, and I believe I was asked that question a couple of weeks ago, and all I was talking about is whatever it takes to effectuate change, we should have a conversation about it. So if someone asked me about the energy in Rhode Island, I'd have to say, well, we need a conversation about it. Someone had asked me about the right to work. I say it's certainly plausible to have a conversation about it, but it's not a one-size-fits-all. And that, I think,
you think it fits for Rhode Island?
I think that is coded language for union bashing and whatnot. I'm not a union basher. I work closely with the unions. Let me tell you a quick story. Back in the December debacle that you might remember, Jim, because it became so high profile in the news, when state leaders were disappearing, I was there, and I worked hard through that because I saw early on that the city is going to be in a gridlock, and it's going to affect the entire state. I made a call to the president of our union.
You're talking about state police?
State police union, yes, thank you. And I said, listen, the city is going to be in a tough situation within an hour. The state is going to be gridlocked. I need 50 more people, but I can't cost the state a dime. Can you help me with that? I don't want it to cost the state a dime. He acquiesced. We had 50 troopers working for nothing on the highways, and that might sound like a small issue, but that's leadership. Leadership's not about ranks and privileges and titles. Leadership's about taking responsibility for what happens in your watch, and sometimes leaders don't stand up at the right time. Leadership's not about if you don't like the music, you just don't face the tune. You have to.
Got to take another break. Brendan Doherty, Republican candidate for Congress in the 1st District in Rhode Island, is our guest today. 10 News Conference. We'll be right back.